All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So we have some breaking Jets news coming out now from NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. So it's looking like the Jets are signing former Chargers tight end Stone Smartt to a one-year contract, and he was actually a restricted free agent who was non-tendered. So, you take a look at Stone Smartt, actually really, really good size. At 6'4", 225, and he actually is a pretty fast tight end. His 40 times a 4.62, or that's, what it was back at the pro day. But Stone Smartt really came on as of late, and this is someone who spent the last 3 years with the Chargers, but didn't really do a whole lot up until this past half year, right? Early part of the year, kind of quiet. Then you focus in on this second part. You actually take a look at the game logs. He was utilized quite a lot. Not, to the point where, he was like the legitimate go-to tight end option for the Chargers for the foreseeable future, clearly, but someone who at least flashed, someone who at least made plays, someone who, hey, when they called his number, he was in there and he was making an impact, which is pretty positive. I mean, man, we're taking a look at the Jets depth chart at tight end right now. It's barren, right? Jeremy Ruckert. That's it, right? Compared to, like, you look at the active roster right now compared to the active roster from a year ago. We had Tyler Conklin on the squad. We had, at least Kenny Yeboah as that third option, but now it's just Jeremy Ruckert. And look, does Stone Smartt, completely alleviate the tight end need? No, but it's still an option nonetheless. Personally, I think the Jets are going to be all over Tyler Warren with that 7th overall pick. As the days go by here, it's just making more and more and more sense. Is Tyler Warren as good of a prospect as Brock Bowers? No. But Tyler Warren is someone who, the day he steps on the field, will be a top 10 tight end in football. And it's also someone who has top 5 tight end potential. You ask yourself the question, how does a team out there acquire a top tight end in football? Chances are they draft him. Right? The elite tight ends. And it's kind of funny because no one talks about tight end as like that extremely valuable position. It's more so like a luxury position, which I agree with. But you can always find wide receivers. You can always find right tackles. You can always find guards. You can always find running backs. You can always find tons of different positions all over the place. Linebacker, safety, corner. Every offseason you can make stuff happen, but with tight end, those top guys, they just don't hit the market. So in the event that the Jets were to draft, let's just say a Tyler Warren, and I'm going to do, separate videos on, pick number 7 and tons of draft stuff, but we're still kind of in the thick of free agency. But just going down this rabbit hole real quick of Tyler Warren, if the Jets were to draft him at spot number 7, is it high? Yeah. Should NFL teams take a tight end in the top 10? Brock Bowers was in the top 10 pick. I think it's debatable. Depends on the team, depends on the need, depends on the situation, depends on the prospect. But what the Jets would essentially be doing is not only would it just be a legitimate upgrade, just a huge, huge upgrade over what we currently have, but you're essentially drafting access to someone who can be a top 5 tight end for the rest of their career. You have that, like, how many teams has Kelsey played for? How many teams has Kittle played for? Right? When you think of all the really, really, really good tight ends, like, the go-to guys, the guys that like Brock Bowers is not going to be leaving the Raiders anytime soon, right? When you think Gronkowski, right, longtime Patriot, end of career with the Bucs, those top elite level tight ends, they don't hit the free agent market. And if they do somehow get moved, they get moved for a lot, i.e. TJ Hawkinson. But outside of that, they just don't become available. So that's the big question. Do the Jets want to go with right tackle, wide receiver, D tackle if one falls, or tight end? I think now there's a couple of positions that we can write off. I don't think linebacker will be in play. I don't think cornerback will be in play. I think the Jets will probably stand pat with, obviously safety, running back. But those are kind of the big position, and, obviously quarterback as well. But those are kind of the big positions of need at this point in time. So, anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Jets.